Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world's most livable city. We are live at the Melbourne Pavilion. My name is John Macaulay, and I'll be your master of ceremonies for this evening. Let's get the night kicked off. Fighting out of the blue corner, Eddie Arrow dos Santos. And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, Matty Hotshot Smith.
As we watch Matthew Smith with Glenn Walsh in his corner come to centre ring. And Steve, this was a very good fight last time. There wasn't anything, it was a split draw.
And 4 fights for both of them too. So Smith's last 3 fights were actually here at the Melbourne Pavilion. So split decision, TKO loss, and a majority decision loss, the last 3 for Matthew Smith. So he'll be looking to get back in the winners column here tonight.
And that's Matthew Smith, who we'll see with the red gloves and the black. And we might see if we can hear our referee give our final instructions for the round. And we'll go up to our ring announcer, Mr. John Macaulay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is bout number 2 of the evening, the first of our live fights right around Australia. This fight is brought to you by Bolwell Kelson Advisory. 6 by 3 minute rounds in the super welterweight division. When the bell tolls, your man in charge in centering, Mr. Wayne Ashton. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, trained by Artie Armstrong out of the Concept Gym with an official weight of 69.05 kilograms, wearing the red, green and black trunks. A fight record of 4 fights, 1 win with 2 draws. Fighting out of Newcastle, New South Wales, Eddie Arrow dos Santos. And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, trained by Glenn Walsh out of the Fighting Lions, an official weight of 69 kilograms even, wearing white trunks with black piping. A fight record of 4 fights, 1 win, 1 draw. Fighting out of Essendon, Melbourne, Victoria, ladies and gentlemen, Matty Hotshot Smith.
Our referee, Mr. Wayne Ashdown, has given his final instructions, and we're almost ready for a start here at the Pavilion here in Melbourne. And that's Matthew Smith with the black and white trunks and the red gloves fighting out of the red corner, and his opponent.
An interesting history for both of these fighters, both of them without a win in their last 3.
Round 1.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very, very interesting. And Eddie dos Santos, that's him in the Italian colours, I guess you might call it.
Portuguese,
really.
I believe.
Portuguese, I think, yeah. It red with the stripe and the green.
Both boys look in really great condition, so they've trained pretty hard for this fight.
Last night, the official weigh-in, Matthew Smith, 69 kilos neat, and Eddie dos Santos, 69.05. So there's nothing between them, and both boys, look at the looks, focused. The eyes tell it all. Only have eyes for each other.
Tell my girlfriend that the same. She doesn't believe me.
And the southpaw stance of Eddie dos Santos with the black gloves. and the orthodox stance of Matthew Smith with the black and white shorts. This should be a good fight. Their last fight, the scores were 37-39, 39-37, 38 all, and that often happens in 3-round fights, or 4-round fights, I should say.
Still early feeling out process between both of them.
Yeah, they're taking their time. No one's going crazy at this particular moment. They both know their limitations. A split draw for both of them last time. Previous to that, Matthew Smith lost by TKO to Brent Moore here at the Pavilion on 26th of February. And Michael Upton lost a majority decision that I refereed actually at the Newcastle Panthers back in November 2014. So he's had a small break out of the sport, but he's a fit, clean, living young kid. I spoke with Artie Armstrong a little bit earlier on tonight, and he knows that he's got a little bit of a way to go yet, but he's committed. He's the first into the gym, and he's the last to leave. It's always a good sign, Julian Holland. I know you were like that.
Well, you got to do that, Brad. Got to do that.
Boys just a little bit weary of each other at the moment.
Yeah, well, they're sort of having trouble getting their jab on, and that's what they need to do in the first round, basically, is just to concentrate on getting that jab on, and then that gets you your distance, so then you can land your other shots.
And Matty Smith rated at 38 out of the 43 middleweights in Australia, and Eddie Dos Santos is rated at 34 out of the 38 in the super welterweights of Australia. So junior middleweight, that's super welterweight, that's 69.85 kilos. Middleweight, of course, is 72.57 kilos. So there's a little bit difference, but tonight they've fought at 69, they fought at super welter, 69.85, the boys. So that really looks like, Julian, they look like they're good super welterweights, don't they? Good size for them.
Yep.
And wherever you might be, I hope you're enjoying tonight's coverage of TV Ringside, proudly brought to you by Australia's own former world super featherweight champion Barry Michael. I want to say hello to a few of the fans watching wherever you might be around the country. And that was a pretty good round, Julian. How'd you see that?
Yeah, well, I'll just give it to Eddie Dos Santos, just because he's just a little bit sharper. I think Matthew Smith is just that workhorse guy, just keeps working up, and it'll be exciting second round.
I think Dos Santos had his range towards the end of that round. Matthew Smith was still a little bit out of range.
Yeah. And Eddie sort of settled in a little bit earlier. He picked his punches well. He used all of the ring. You noticed he went left, he came right. He missed a lot of punches, but that's nerves. First round, trying to find a range, trying to find a rhythm. But I'm quite sure that round number 2 we might see a different result here from the Melbourne Pavilion. I want to say a quick hello to my brother Don, Sid, and all the boys watching over at Craigieburn tonight. I hope you're enjoying the coverage.
Hope they get to their car up in Craigieburn.
Yeah, it's a little bit wet over there.
By the time this is finished.
Round number 2.
That's just a stab. I live north, so.
Nice part of the world too. So Donnie and Robin and the boys. I hope you're enjoying tonight's coverage. My brother Sid, all fight fans.
Smith's debut back in almost exactly a year ago against James Allen with a TKO victory in Carlton. So and Dos Santos had a win on debut against Daniel Ford back in March of 2014, making his pro debut nearly 2 years ago.
And of course, both boys they've had their share of losses, and they are what this sport is all about. We know they're not going to be Oscar De La Hoyas, and we know they're not going to be Anthony Mundines, but this is what the sport's all about.
See Matthew Smith, he throws that jab out, and then he's just bringing that left hand back down to his waist, and that spells trouble against the right-hander, because if they follow that left hand back with the right hand, they'll hit you straight on the chin.
Every time. And Eddie Dos Santos he sees punches moving well. He's a nice mover. He's up on the balls of his feet, using all of the ring. Very well balanced young fighter too, Julian.
Yeah, definitely.
There he goes with a little short right hand under the arm. A
lot lighter on his toes too, out of the two, Dos Santos.
And he makes
nice little body shot.
Yeah, he makes Matty Smith miss there with a wild right hand. He gets under it, gets under the left hook. He's got to learn to, if he makes him miss, he's got to make him pay. Hands up nice. It's good to see fighters of this caliber with their hands up and very nice and high, protecting themselves. He gets under the right hand of Matt Smith again. Looking very good, doing a lot of good work, Eddie Dos Santos. He needs to just adjust that now and make him miss and make him pay, because you don't get points for making your opponent miss. You only get points if you're going to hit your opponent and he can't hit you. Nice left hand. That's Matthew Smith in the black and white, and Eddie Dos Santos from Newcastle in New South Wales, trained by Artie Armstrong, the legendary fight trainer up there. Trains the likes of Chad Bennett, and been around for literally 100 years, Artie Armstrong. And a pretty nice guy outside as well. Oh, he makes him miss. Beautiful body shot there by Dos Santos.
They slow you down, bro.
Oh, they do. There's the little short right hand again.
That's what I was saying. See, Matthew Smith, if he's going to have that hand down there, he needs to be keeping that left hand going, pumping like a jackhammer.
Matty's just a one-punch fighter at the moment. He needs, there's the clubbing right hand by Matty Smith. He misses again, clubbing with that right hand. We're inside 10 seconds of round number 2. And Dos Santos gets under the right hand. Another good round for Eddie Dos Santos, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And I just think he's a cleaner fighter, Brad, and he's very well balanced, and he's moving around nice.
Another good round. Eddie Dos Santos, as we see some of the action. That's Eddie Dos Santos on your left in the red and green. Well balanced. Look at the hands up. There's the left lead. He makes Matty Smith miss with the right hand. Goes for the left hook to the body. There's the right hand as we see it. As we await round number 3, and we've got the beauty and the brawn, the beautiful card girls here at the Melbourne Pavilion. And boy, guys, we've got a very, very full venue here tonight.
Absolutely. It filled up very quickly too, from the first fight onwards. No stragglers.
Congratulations to Craig Dunn and to Barry Michael. They've worked very, very hard in order to get the corporate Australia behind. Corporate Melbourne is certainly well behind Zach Dunn. He's an exciting young fighter. Arguably, he's probably the best super middleweight in this country and the highest rated fighter that we have in the land at this particular time.
Oh, Smith comes straight out of the gate.
Yeah,
he goes straight at Eddie.
I think Wibber Walsh has given him a little bit of a pay and told him to come out and start working. Because, he's just been coasting along a little bit. It's only a 4-rounder.
Yep, and he's found himself just a little bit behind for the first 2 rounds, so Glenn has sort of obviously got into him a little bit. But
and if he's as fit as Glenn, he'll be right, because Glenn
absolutely.
He just keeps running.
And he was a good fighter too, Glenn Walsh, in his day. Oh, Glenn's over in the corner. I was just looking at him. He's in despair over there at Matty Smith. But obviously, Matt's not doing exactly what he'd like him to do.
Yeah, one thing I see a lot, the importance of the jab, and when they lose the jab, then a lot of it becomes a little bit hard, doesn't it, Brad?
If you haven't got a jab, you haven't got anything. You need a jab as not only to find your range and set everything up, but to keep your opponent on the back foot as well.
Dos Santos with the much better head movement.
Yeah, definitely.
Slipping under at will.
He's just naturally probably a better boxer.
I think just overall he's better prepared than with no disrespect to Matty Smith. He's trying his heart out here. He's a good game fighter. He's still trying. Matty's just trying one punch. Left hook off the cuff never works.
I think he's that type of fighter, but what he needs to do is what Whipper's probably wanting him to do is start letting his hands go and start really breaking Dos Santos down. Yeah,
he needs to let his hands go. Punches in bunches, followed by the left lead. Firstly, left lead, he gets clubbed by a right hand there. Left hook to the body by Dos Santos, really starting to find his range, and his confidence is sky high now, Eddie Dos Santos. Walks into a little bit of a... Oh, they slip over and someone's mouth guard has gone out.
Dos Santos.
Matching his shorts as well.
Yeah, he just missed with that right hand and got caught with a little left hook on the way in.
Nothing like colour coordination, Steve. And we're in for a start again of round number 3 as the referee calls time in.
Oh, that's beautiful counter right.
Left, right, left. Lovely jab work there.
Dos Santos commanding centre ring. Left, right, a little bit wild with that little right hand. I'd like to see him go straight down the pipe, straight punches. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line.
That short right to the body is paying off for Dos Santos as well.
And of course, Dos Santos makes Matty Smith miss with that wild right hand, the looping right hand. And in a minute, he's going to make him miss and really make him pay. He's going to hurt him with either a left hook to the body or a left hook to the head. You can see it coming. We're in round number 3. How are you enjoying it at home? I hope you're enjoying our coverage here live from the Melbourne Pavilion. It's a cold, blustery night here in Melbourne, but you wouldn't have it any other way.
Lovely combination there by Santos.
Tag Smith a couple times on the way out.
Yep.
And another good round by Eddie Dos Santos, and the signs are there, Julian Holland and Steve. I think that
number 3, our first live bout.
that Dos Santos has really got his confidence at sky high now. He's 3 clear rounds, I think, ahead.
Yep.
Yeah, he's definitely starting to feel comfortable now. You know, he's got his distance right. He's letting his, his hands go and hitting with everything.
Your major sponsors.
Of course, he's making him miss. He's finding his range. He's stepping off. And as we see some of the action there, you see him there. The boys come in close. There's the little right under the heart, under the rib cage.
He's just starting to change the height a little bit too, Brad.
Yep, nice little right hand left hook, but then he stands there and admires his work and gets clubbed with a little left hook there. There's Dos Santos making him miss with the right underneath. There's the left hook on top again. Really starting to find his range, Eddie Dos Santos.
Dos Santos is catching him as he's coming out too. So Smith, as you said, is getting relaxed, and then bang, that's when Dos Santos is catching him. That's frustrating Matthew Smith right now.
And there's probably a slight height and reach advantage to Eddie Dos Santos, I'd say there, Steve. But it's all compounded because it's easy to come forward, but if you don't come forward with a game plan, there's no point in coming forward.
Well, you've got to make them miss and then make them pay.
Absolutely. Beautiful left lead, followed by the left hook there by Eddie Dos Santos. Oh, his confidence is starting to rise now. You can see it, you can feel it, you can look at it in his eye. And I can see that look of admiration of Artie Armstrong. And let me tell you, Artie will tell you if you're going well, and he'll tell you if you're going bad. And I'd rather him tell me if I'm going well rather than him tell me if I'm going bad.
Lovely right hand.
Found his range very, very well, Eddie Dos Santos. So what can Matthew Smith do to get back into this fight? Julian, what do you think?
Well, what he needs to do is just bustle forward and start making him miss. Start tick-tock and moving his head a little bit to try and make Dos Santos miss, and then start hesitating. And then just put the pressure back on him and probably put him on the back foot.
A little bit of upper body movement never goes astray, and he needs to be able to learn to create some angles. He's not creating any angles at all at the moment. He's coming straight into Eddie Dos Santos. If he could step off with that right hand, with that right foot, the left foot I should say, come across with that right hand, just like that. There's the left hook. That hurt. Then he walks into a right hand from Dos Santos.
Again, Dos Santos countering beautifully. Look, again, with a right on the way out.
Nice little short right.
And that right's finding a home because look where that left hand's coming back to. So what he needs to do is keep that up and it won't be getting home.
And you can see Dos Santos with a right hand beautifully hold high. Good style. He can punch and parry. He can parry and slip punches from there. Beautifully well balanced on the balls of his feet still. And Matty Smith has dug himself into a little bit of a hole here, and I think he's going to find a little bit of trouble to get out of it at the moment, Steve.
Starting to look a bit tired too.
Yeah, the shine's come off him a little bit, and of course he's not really getting hurt, but he's just getting tagged with punches that frustrate you more than anything.
Just the gradual chipping away there from Dos Santos. He's just grinding him down.
He's slowly breaking him down. And we've got a huge crowd participation here. They're all behind their fighter here. That's Eddie Dos Santos in the red and green with the black trunks, and Matthew Smith out of Essendon again in the white and black.
He's just got to keep that left hand up.
Yeah, that overhand right and that hook from Dos Santos catching him every time.
Every time. You'd rather catch it on the glove than on the chin.
Yeah. He's a very, very well put together young fighter, Eddie Dos Santos, and he's certainly showing it tonight. He's doing it in style here at the Melbourne Pavilion. There's the right hand. That certainly caught the attention of Matty Smith. Matty Smith goes with a wild right hand. They're not going to do anything. He needs to stand up. He's fight smarter, not harder.
You can see the technique starting to come out of Matthew Smith at the moment.
And we see the end of
round number 4.
Round number 4, and another good round by Eddie Dos Santos.
Matty Hotshot Smith.
Yeah, he's really starting to control the fight now, doing what he pleases.
This fight brought to you by
Good refereeing by referee Wayne Ashdown as he warned the fighters they were getting a little bit wild and woolly with their heads there, and someone's going to bump heads and they're going to cut as we see some of the action in that last round. There was that long right hand by Dos Santos. Look at the hands are nice and high. He parries that left hand. He walks into the left lead there. there, Dos Santos. Smith goes with a wild left hook, misses the mark. There's the right hand again. Great vision by our cameraman here tonight at the Pavilion. And I hope you're enjoying our coverage from the Melbourne Pavilion. I just want to say a very, very quick hello to Paul and Jack down at Paul's Junior at Clarendon Street, South Melbourne. I'll be down there tomorrow morning, boys, and I'll be picking up a couple of those Daniel Hector jumpers as you've been looking after me. And they're a good crew down there. 294 Clarendon Street in South Melbourne. So if you're in the area, call down there and see Jack and Paul. They're good guys, and they've got some beautiful clothing down there. If you're clothing. I know Julian Holland's a clothing man.
I'm coming with you, Brad.
We're in round number 5 of fight number 2 here at the Melbourne Pavilion. Thanks for joining us and allowing us into your living room, wherever you might be in this wonderful country of ours. That's Eddie Dos Santos in the red and green and Matthew Smith in the white. Brad Vicali here with Julian Holland and Fox Sports' Steve White. And Steve, great to have you aboard here in Melbourne on a Barry Michael event for TV Ringside.
Yeah, great to be. I will say that to Matthew Smith's credit for that, he's wearing that right hook consistently. He's taken them. He's decent chin, but obviously, he doesn't want to be taking them. But he just doesn't seem to have an answer for that.
Well, he's just, look, he's lost his way a little bit. He's now fighting from memory, and he's just trying to stay in the fight.
He's actually come out a lot better, and I think the whippers really give him a rev up in the corner and told him that he's got to get this guy on the back foot and just got to keep throwing punches.
There's that's beautiful left lead by Eddie Dos Santos. 2 short left leads and then he left rip to the body. A la Barry Michael, left lead and then left rip to the body. By gee, it's a great punch if you can execute it very well.
They can pull the best of them up.
It certainly can. Hurt the body, hurt the mind, as the old saying has been around since I was a boy. And that is a long time ago.
Again, Smith.
Beautiful left hook. That certainly caught the attention of Matt Smith. Starting to look a little bit wear and tear now. The heads come together. Matty sticking the head right in the chest of Eddie Dos Santos. He's doing it in style, Eddie Dos Santos here. He doesn't need to do anything too cute. He's won every round on our unofficial scorecard.
His movement's still as good as it was in the first round. Hasn't skipped a beat.
I can see the lovely Michelle Lansdowne just wandering around a couple of the corporate tables over here, and she's just going to come over. And Michelle, we've got some real celebrities in the audience here tonight.
We do. A few really big names, ex-fighters, a few media personalities. It's very exciting.
A couple of footballers as well.
There are, yeah, a couple of AFL footy players, so we've got them all here tonight.
I saw my good friend Richard Osborne, Aussie, former number 44 for Fitzroy, and had a stint with Collingwood in the Sydney Swans. He's over here on a corporate table.
He is, and a great player of Collingwood. I think he played better at Collingwood than he did any other team.
Oh, no, he did better at Fitzroy. I'm a Fitzroy man through and through. Great words from the lovely Melbourne media personality, the lovely Michelle Lansdowne, who's joining us here tonight. And it just goes to show, as referee Wayne Ashdown gives Eddie Dos Santos a little warning and says, come on, mate, you can't be doing that. He's holding and hitting at the same time.
And Smith just seems content to just throw that big right.
One shot.
Yeah.
Beautiful left hook puts Matty Smith down. And on the back move, he's not going to call that as... Oh, he is. No. Wow.
He threw a big right hand.
That was a knockdown. I don't know what Wayne Ashdown was thinking there, because that was as clean a knockdown as we get. Let's see if our boys are able to get a little bit of vision of that, because, look, I will give that Matty Smith was off balance. He was moving backwards, but... under the rules of our sport, if you hit your opponent with the knuckle part of the glove to the scoring part of the body, and as a direct result of that strike, your opponent, a third part of your opponent's glove touches the ground. Let's see if we can see some of this here.
Big shot there, left hook.
Misses. There's the left hook. Oh, it doesn't get any cleaner than that. Sadly, our referee, Wayne Ashdown, has mucked that up a little. I'm not criticising. There it is. Let's see it from another angle.
Bang.
Beautiful left hook. And I think maybe the bell went, and that put Wayne off. The bell went, not a good decision, because that's really a 10-8 round on any judge's scorecard, because Eddie Dos Santos won the fight very, very well, won the round very, very well. And towards the end, he scored a knockdown.
Pavilion, make some noise.
That was in round number 5.
Final round.
Matthew Smith's going to have to do something special to win this, because it's all Eddie Dos Santos for the last 5 rounds.
Yep, and Matty Smith needs to knock Eddie Dos Santos out in order to win this fight. On my unofficial scorecards, I have 50-45. and it should probably be 50-44 had they have called that knockdown. It's a shame, but Matty Smith is behind the 8 ball. Maybe referee's taken a little bit of pity on him.
But even with his hands down like that, Santos he's just popping him with the left hand at will, and then the right hand will be there as well.
Yeah. It's a very, very well credentialed, well put together, dedicated Eddie Dos Santos night. This is the Eddie Dos Santos we didn't see in this last fight. Really put him together very, very well. And Matt Smith, I really do feel for him because he is a really nice young guy at the ring. He's got a lot of support here tonight. It's just not his night. The rematch hasn't gone his way so far. But we've still got a little bit of time to go, and I hope you're enjoying our commentary here from the pavilion. And it's the return of TV Ringside, proudly brought to you by Barry Michael, our own former World Super Featherweight champion.
Just over 90 seconds, and really all Eddie Dos Santos has to do is play it conservatively as far as he's concerned.
Oh, and Matty Smith started that one from down at Flemington, down at the racecourse, and he's a long way away there. He's really starting to load up. He's getting a little bit desperate now. He's just wanting to land the big haymaker. Sadly, it's not going to work, but he's full of fight, Matty Smith, as referee Wayne Ashdown gives him a warning for pushing. That's all lost a little bit now for Matty Smith, so he's just hanging on for dear life, and he's just going to see this fight out for 6 rounds. Hopefully he might land a big blow that might get him back into the fight, but against a very dedicated and a very well put together Eddie Dos Santos, I don't think that's going to happen tonight.
You can see not much left in the tank of Matty Smith.
Good defence by Dos Santos as well. Yeah. But he hasn't stopped trying, Matty Smith, Steve.
Absolutely not. He's still going for broke.
Terrific to see. Round number 6 of a 6-round fight in fight number 2 here at the pavilion.
As I said before, he's been wearing them, but he's been wearing them very well. He must have taken that right from Dos Santos at least 10 times.
Just lost his footing there, and referee Wayne Ashdown jumps in just to give him a fair opportunity. Protect yourself at all times is the motto in our sport. If you don't protect yourself, the referee is going to do it for you. And Matty Smith trying his heart down. You can see the writhing pain in his face.
There.
Big right hand by Matty. He's going to finish off this with 12 seconds to go. And he's fighting his absolute heart out, Matt Smith. And Eddie Dos Santos waves him on. He says, come on, let me have a little bit of this. He opens up with a double-fisted attack right on our commentary position as we see the end of round number 6 in what should be a decisive victory to Newcastle's Eddie Dos Santos. Let's see some of this action. There's the beautiful left hand, followed by the clubbing right hand. Let's see there, he gets under that little right uppercut, Dos Santos, misses and makes him pay with that little short right hand. The hands are up nice and high. There's the little short right hand to the temple. Matty Smith has a little bit of success with his own little short right uppercut. That action was fast and furious. There's the right hand by Matty Smith, just missed the mark. And we see as Glenn Walsh and the team, well, you're going to bite the glove off there. You're not allowed to do that. You've got a pair of scissors, you guys. Oh, it's wonderful to see as we see Artie Artson and Eddie Dos Santos, and they'll be on the plane tomorrow. A happy team back in Newcastle, I'm sure. On my unofficial scorecard, I have it 60-54. Every round in order in favour of Eddie Dos Santos as we await the official judges' scorecard. And what a wonderful night. We've got lots to go yet, so stay with us as we go up to our ring announcer, Mr. John Demicoli.
He reaches out only to catch the sky, but it's gone with the wind. I gotta say,
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of action, we've gone to the judges' scorecards. We have a unanimous points decision declaring your winner, blue corner, Eddie Arrow Dos Santos.
There you have it, a unanimous decision to Newcastle's Eddie Dos Santos, and he can be a happy young man, Eddie Dos Santos. After a split draw in their last fight, he's turned it all around this evening and come home with a winner and the beautiful ring card girls. As we see some of that action, and we'll see there Dos Santos with a little short left hook, and Julian, his hands were up high all night.
Yeah, look, obviously if he's had a split jaw before, well, he's gone home and worked hard, and he really controlled this fight, did everything right.
And Steve, you picked it a little bit earlier on that the hands were up, and of course the mouth was open. There's the left hook that should have been counted as a knockdown. And that was a terrific fight, and we'll be back in just a few minutes with fight number 3 from here at the Melbourne Pavilion. So stay with us.
Uppercut. Nailed him. Absolutely nailed him. Chopping away Maloney. Another big right hand. Another one after the bell. Can Beratel survive this assault? He's in trouble. He's in big trouble. Jimmy Butler. He's